I think so.
All right, so here we go. It says we're live. So we'll do the usual sound checks and everything like that. Let us know if we sound okay, if you can hear us, if you can see us. Hopefully it's not laggy or anything like that. We've done everything we can to make the internet as fast as we can. So here we go. So we've got me here, Derek from Simnett Nutrition. We got Crystal, my girlfriend.
From Simnett Nutrition.
From Simnett Nutrition, also joining us. So we've both been vegan for a long time. And I'm a nutritionist. And Crystal, she, you've worked in a lot of different, areas. But
and I mostly kind of like assist you in the background.
She does help me a lot in the background. But you're also well educated. You've learned a lot of things. And you've done some stuff on women's health, on, on menstrual cycle awareness for women and stuff like that. So Crystal is definitely a good asset to these Q&As, and she helps keep me on track as well. So if it's all good, start asking some questions, start commenting, let us know where you're from. We will start answering the comments. I'm a little bit nervous this time. I'm
oh man, we haven't done a live for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So hello, I'm from Spain. Very nice. Hello from Berlin, Germany. Greetings from England. Man, we missed the UK. We went there a few times, and it's really fun. Next week, Nick and Amy will be given their sentencing for a pig trial. Meet the victims they did a few years ago. Oh, that's right. I thought they were given. I thought that happened because I saw her reading, and they got charged for a few things. Anyways, that's a local animal rights sort of activist issue that's happening here. Hello from South Africa. Wow. All right, so I guess you guys can hear us because people would be saying, no, we can't hear you and all that sort of thing. So very cool. Just eating a huge smoothie while watching. I like how you say you're eating your smoothie because that implies that you're chewing on it, chewing your smoothie, getting the best digestion possible.
Houston,
hi from Texas.
Phoenix.
Yes. All right. So I think do we have a question? Yeah, okay, we got an intimate one from Joseph right here. Hey, Joseph here, longtime listener, first-time questioner. How do you make sure you have time for intimacy in your relationship with such a busy schedule? I don't know. Crystal's like, do we have to go here at first question? Man, you make time for things that are important for you.
Yeah. You can schedule it. Some couples actually have to schedule intimacy and stuff like that. And that's I think something that a lot of people learn about if they go into couples therapy or something like that. I've heard that being a tip. Schedule it. Just put it in your calendar as if it's a dinner date. It's it's intimacy, 7 p.m. And some people it works for them. Some people more spontaneous, so that won't work. That's one way of scheduling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Derek said, you make time.
And just keep fanning and keep that communication. We keep fanning that fire. You know what I'm saying? It's you don't just just kind of ignore your partner all day and then at 7 o'clock you're like, hey, you're ready to go. It's you gotta kind of. You gotta put in the work.
But it's also really good to know, if some people need the initiation or that kind of thing, or vice versa, that kind of thing. So you kind of have to explore that with your partner a little bit. That's a good question, but kind of hard to answer without.
Yeah, we don't usually talk too much about intimacy. Anyways, speaking of that, with the scheduling stuff, what are you doing at 6 o'clock?
We're wait a minute, it's 10 o'clock, gotta
go. So somebody asked, hey Derek, did you stop lemon and hot water in the morning? Good question. So my last video, I did do that because it's great for digestion, but what it's not good for is the enamel of our teeth. So I wasn't having any issues on that, really. But it's something that you should be conscious of. So I found that, I was just enjoying the just warm water in the morning rather than that. But if you do have the lemon water, you want to rinse your mouth with clear water afterwards, do that a whole bunch. Don't brush right after because it softens your enamel for a little while. Same goes for smoothies as well. Mm-hmm. You don't want to brush right after a smoothie. So good question. But I feel great when I have it. And that's, the only reason really why is the enamel issue. But if you make it where it's not too concentrated, if you're not doing a whole lemon in a small cup of juice or water, then it should be big bunch of water, quarter of a lemon. It's going to be enough to help the digestion. It's going to taste good.
Someone asked, would drinking from a straw help with the teeth?
It would. Yeah, it would. But it's just you can't help but get that acid in your in your mouth, But it might be a little bit better to drink from a straw. But I don't know how much. Anyways.
Derek does not drink from straws, though.
I don't like it, hey? I never
love it. I always got my straw.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's like a mystery, like how clean is the inside of the straws and stuff.
That is a mystery, actually.
Yeah, probably good for your microbiome though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Probably some B12 up in that straw.
Oh yeah.
Someone asked what happened to my eye, bro. I don't know, nothing. I do have one eye that's slightly smaller than the other, so maybe that's what you're asking about. It didn't grow. I don't know why. Why you gotta point these things out? Oh, someone said brush your teeth first. Yeah, well, you want to, you could brush your teeth first. That can make the teeth
soft, can't it? Because that's the problem with when you have coffee, you don't want to brush your teeth first.
Yeah, there's something about that. I don't know, but it would definitely, you could, but then you still have the acid on your teeth after. So you want to rinse.
I don't know.
You want to rinse after. Yes.
How many protein shakes do you have a day?
How many hours are there in the day? No, I'm just kidding.
12.
Just like I have less now than I used to. I'm having, well, Crystal's been like on a tear making like meals, like, so we have leftovers in the fridge like all the time. She loves her beans and pulses, and actually I think that is a pulse. But so I haven't been having as many as I used to, but usually I'll have, just one a day generally, and then I'll have
but it's not so much a protein shake, it's just a smoothie.
It's just a smoothie with protein powder in there. Yeah.
You don't look at it as like just a protein
shake.
Very
rarely, like never do I just have like protein and water or just like one banana and protein. I'm like, well, I can put a bunch of other healthy stuff in there. Why not? I want to gain some weight, but I can't eat and I can't digest smoothies. Love from Nepal. Well, yeah, so don't do smoothies then if they're not good for you. I mentioned a couple of reasons why in my last video about digestion, why smoothies might not be the best for people for digestion. But you got to eat, find meals that are denser in calories. So yeah, I mean, just think about maybe you'll have to increase your fats a little bit more. And just get that extra meal in, like, when you just try and squeeze in like one extra small meal in between like your other meals. If you have a large gap between your meals, fire another meal in there. It'll give you an extra, even a small meal, 250, 350 calories. Do you drink water with alkaline? So yeah, there's like alkaline. Well, yeah, it's not like with alkaline, but it's kind of interesting that they said it like that, because the water filter we have, the Santivia filter, is like a one that goes in the fridge or on your countertop, and it alkalizes the water. But that's not the reason why we get it. We get it because it's a good filter, and it does add some like minerals back into the water. But like, who knows how absorbable and digestible these minerals are that make water, that can make it alkaline. You can make water alkaline in a few different ways, and I believe there's like by adding certain minerals to it. And there's also a way that they can do it with like energy, like electricity. And I think that's how like the Kangen water filters work. But yeah, I don't know. I went down that hole for like a little while as far as like the water and stuff goes. And it's like, we got to just be drinking good filtered water. And you can debate whether or not, like reverse osmosis is the best or distilled water is the best. That's kind of been something that people have been into lately. But yeah, alkaline.
We just live somewhere where the tap water is so good. Like, we actually can drink the tap water out of like, our sink and stuff. And some places in the world, you can't do that. So we're really blessed in that fact. So like filtering it is just like not even a needed step here, but we like to do it because the filter does help a little bit with like the chlorine.
Yeah, it helps.
They do put a little bit of chlorine in the water here. So, but we're really blessed. So yeah. It's hard to be like snooty about water when we're like so lucky to be able to. Because
we have we have like an open loop system. Like, we get water from the mountains. Our water's like not recycled like in many places. Okay, I saw a good question here. Okay, so Benny Green asked, do we ever go running? Yeah, we go running. My before I got into doing like calisthenics and like trying to build muscle, I was like a trail runner. That was my main thing. Crystal and I just went out yesterday. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago.
My legs, I'm like, it wasn't yesterday.
Oh, we
went
for a long trail run. But trail running is so fun because, like it's not so monotonous. You're kind of having to watch where your feet goes. There's different stuff to look at in the forest. We love it. So yeah, we go running. Love it. I try and run a couple times a week at least, because it's the kind of thing that as you get older, I'm well into my 30s here. We don't need to get too specific. You start realizing that if you don't run as often as, you did when you're a kid, because when you're a kid, you just run, you play tag, you run over to your friend's house. But if you don't keep running, it gets really difficult and it doesn't feel as natural. So you got to keep doing it. That's why we keep doing it. Someone asked, when are we going to release our next recipe ebook? Yeah, I'm embarrassed to.
We won't. We're not gonna say when because we're still working on it.
Yeah, we're still working on it. Yeah.
Summer's just been really good, and it's
Yeah.
been kind of like on the back burner.
It has. It's really hard because, yeah, it's like I'm really gonna have to push to get it out, but I really want to because we have so many great recipes to share, and I want to put them all into like one spot. And I'm really excited about it because once I get past this roadblock, there's so many other things I want to do. I want to start helping people. Like I want to start taking clients again and doing that. And I think that'll be really, really fun. But like I got to get this dang ebook out of the way. So let's hope. I don't know. We're gonna be working on it this fall for sure because the rain's coming in like a couple weeks here, and we're not gonna have much to do. So we are going to do that. Someone asked, have you ever heard of athletic greens? Thoughts? Athletic greens like AG1. I have heard of that. Yes, they've, they reached out to me, no big deal, but they but I'm
reach out to everyone.
I think they do too. Well, not everybody, you gotta be good. But I'm with Vivo Life, and they offer products that are very, that are sort of similar, I would say, but I think they're a little bit better. They have very good, quality control and that sort of stuff. Athletic greens, okay for a green supplement, but you really want to be eating these greens. Like the powdered greens and that sort of stuff is like, it's an okay thing to fall back on, but you really want to try to be eating them as much as you can. It's also really
expensive,
and that's
the
the
other
other
thing. There's
thing.
like proprietary blend or something in it, so like you kind of know what you're getting, but like also
right.
So
yeah, nothing. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it because I'm just so happy with Vivo Life's products. But I do see like some of the big time YouTubers that I watch, like some of the car channels. I watch. It's so funny. They like. Yeah, anyway, they like get athletic green sponsors, and like I watch them go to like every day they go to like the gas station for like lunch and stuff like that. And of course, I'm always like, guys, I want you around for a long time doing these cool videos. You got to eat healthier. And then they'll be like, hey, like, you guys know I don't eat so healthy, so here's my like AG1 is gonna fix me right up. I love it. Anyways, what is the best time of the day to work out? From California. Wow. Well, the best time to work out is whenever you can fit it in. Obviously, that's such a boring answer. But I think like for males, I think our testosterone is like sort of highest in like the like in the morning, not early morning, but I think generally in the morning. Whether or not that's going to lead to like more gains or whatever, but I think it's just whenever you feel best and whenever you can stay consistent. Like for me, I like working out in the morning because it's like I don't have to think about my food all day. You know, I'm not thinking like, okay, like I want to be fueled up for the workout, but I don't want to be full, and all that. And I have time in the morning, which is really nice. So yeah, and I feel great in the morning. We have a good crew that goes to the gym at that time. So for me, that works. Oh, we got a super chat. Forgot about this. So we have, I think we got another one actually earlier. So we have super chat is, you guys know by now, you can make a little donation and your question pops up and we'll make sure to get to those questions, but do not feel obligated to spend your hard-earned money just to ask us a question. But, helps us buy bananas and stuff. Thanks for the educational information, recipes, and all-around motivation. No question, just a nice thought, a nice B3. So thanks for that. Very generous.
So what are our thoughts on 0-calorie sweeteners?
Well, there's a lot of different ones.
Yeah.
It's
obviously if you don't have to have them, great.
Yeah.
But if you have to have them, probably picking one like maybe like stevia over sucralose.
Yeah, definitely. I would stay away from like aspartame.
Maybe like from I think Splenda and stuff is sucralose and stuff, or aspartame.
Most people know those. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Try to eat, stick with whole foods as much as you can. Somebody had a question here on like TRT. Where was it?
They asked if your blood work shows that you are in need of it.
Oh.
Is it safe?
Oh, yeah. I think if you have a testosterone test done, or like a hormonal blood panel done,
super low,
and it's low, your doctor will talk to you about that for sure. And is it dangerous? I think it can. I don't know. I don't want to speak on it because I don't know enough. I know that, there's got to be a reason naturally that our testosterone levels, start to like drop as we age. If you want to keep those like elevated, I think it might increase your chances for certain diseases. But I also think having like low testosterone does that as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know enough on the topic to speak on it. Luckily enough, the last time I got my testosterone tested, my levels were great, which was a really nice surprise. I had no idea. I mean, not a surprise. I figured that they were. I feel good, but you just never know. Cool. Will the Amazing Food series ever come back? I loved it. Oh my God, you guys really loved that. Yeah, I think so. This fall, I'm gonna need some content ideas, so I think that'll be good. Crystal's looking up at our whiteboard of ideas. And I have another sort of like spin-off idea to that for don't laugh at me. I think it's a good idea. So yeah, definitely some more educational ones coming soon. How are we going to celebrate 1 million subscribers?
Oh man.
Yeah, well,
what are you doing in 20 years?
Yeah,
no,
in the year, I don't know. In the year 2030.
We're like, hey guys, it's
we're getting about like
No.
I don't know. We're getting about 4,000 new subs a month, so it's not going to be like really soon, but
unless your channel just gets flung into the algorithm like
I know
again.
I know. I thought
it was like sometimes it does, and sometimes you have to. It's like the ebb and flow of the algorithm in YouTube and stuff.
I know when the tide's out, you just gotta wait, and then when it's coming back in, you gotta
you're like,
surf that wave.
Maybe if we bring the Amazing Food series back, because I always tell Derek, and I know you guys like it. I always tell him that is such a good series. So many people enjoy it.
And Bing 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 Bong. Wow, we have some veteran.
Ask Me Monday, yeah, that was
some
so
OGs
good.
in the audience.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
With like really specific questions.
Yeah, I don't know why. I love doing those answers, like the Ask Me Mondays. It's a little bit like, I don't know, it's a bit nerve-wracking being in this position where like you have to give like, good information and like, and yeah, I don't know, nutrition's a really tough thing. It's not like I'm just like, talking about like my favorite color or anything like that. So like, I don't know, it's like sometimes it's a little bit nerve-wracking. That's why I just like showing like easy recipes and like tasty stuff, because that'll help everyone get healthier, and nobody can debate whether or not a recipe's like healthy and delicious. Actually, you can, but I don't know.
Well, it's like you know a lot, but you're always learning too.
Yeah,
and so
that's
to
right.
Be an authority figure when you're always learning, it can be difficult sometimes because you want to give the right information and stuff, but you don't know everything, and you don't act like you know everything, which I appreciate because you're always learning.
So, all right, what do we have here? Foods which would bring us to the mood. That person asked.
Man,
is this like the mood, like schedule your time kind of mood in the bedroom? Maca is a great supplement that helps with increasing like libido. Definitely like worth a try. But there's who asked this? Thomas. Yeah, there's some stuff that can help, like certain supplements that claim to like raise your testosterone, like tribulus and that sort of stuff, that definitely like increases your vigor. But I find that stuff kind of helps it in the beginning, but then it sort of seems to like wear off. You sort of go back to like a baseline afterwards. So it's just something to think about. Okay. Oh, what is the story behind the Bing Bing Bong thing? Oh, well, that was just I had this like funny song that would play at the start of the Ask Me Monday video. So I had a series of videos that I did a while ago. It was Ask Me Mondays, and every Monday I would answer a bunch of questions. It wasn't a live like this. I would like pre-record them. I would walk in the forest and answer them. It was
good. It was fun.
Yeah, but the thing was, they were just such random questions, and you can only put so much information in a title. So there'd be like really great questions in there that people wouldn't find, because in the title it would be like Ask Me Monday.
That's why we gotta do one that's like tailored.
Yes, that's sort of themed, like all the questions about protein or all the questions about weight loss or whatever, and like that would make it easier if people could find that. But yeah, so anyways, the song, it was just like Bing 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 Bong, and I forget who wrote it.
But it was music. It wasn't like someone being like Bing Bing Bing. It was like
yeah,
it was so.
But it was just like so distinctive, and then I would like I don't know it. Man.
And then everyone got really into it.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, we have to use it. And then it was like the thing. Like we always have to use it now. It's so good. Love it. It's like, it's the best.
Somebody asked, would we collab with other vegans? Yeah, I would.
We just don't live well, I mean, we live with, like, there's people around us that are vegan, but they're not like influencers, or they wouldn't want to be on our channel or anything like that.
Yeah.
So we don't really live in a place, like we don't live in LA, obviously, right? So we're not really like close to a lot of the, kind of vegan influencers, I guess you would say.
Yeah, people do collabs. Collabs. And I'm a YouTuber.
Collab.
On like, with video and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I've tried to think,
yeah.
I know, but it's not the same. I've tried to think of some cool ideas where it could be like, I could do a full day of eating with someone, and like maybe I do breakfast, they do lunch, throw back and forth.
But it would be so fun. It was so fun when we would go to LA and stuff and see everyone, like when we'd have like in our videos.
I don't know. We're going to try and get back to LA soon, but
not soon,
yeah,
but at some point in our life, we would like to go back.
Yeah, I would love to, collaborate a little bit more. There's we just live in like a fairly small town, not a lot of vegan YouTubers around here. Yeah, that's about it. Celebrating 1 million subscribers outdoor could be fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll do something for sure. Yeah, definitely do something. I love the Simpsons print of you guys in the background. Hello from Wales. Oh yeah, so that's Crystal. Yeah, you can see it. There's me, Crystal. We got the 2 cats that are there. We showed it last video, so I won't pull it out. But
the skateboard,
a
and dumbbell. It's so good.
Crystal's dad got that for us. It's a really cool gift. If anybody has a gift to give to somebody, I think you can find companies that do that online. But it's like, yeah, I just look at it every day and I'm just like, I just laugh at it. I think it's so cool. So somebody asked about meditation, and IK asked, have you thought about going for Vipassana meditation, which I believe is where you don't talk for a while? And could you guys imagine me doing that?
Can you imagine being you on the retreat? We'd be like, we'd be like, sup?
I don't know.
Or we'd just be laughing.
Meditation is
not to be rude, but
meditation is something I probably need.
I don't think we're there yet, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I know. But it's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I'm not flexible enough to do yoga, or like I'm too dirty to have a bath. It's like I'm just like too anxious to like meditate. It's kind of the same thing. You got to just do it. If you think you can't, that's probably when you need it most. I've tried for a little while, but I struggle to keep a consistent practice, and I felt like I didn't maybe do it long enough or do it right to feel the benefits. So it wasn't really like that encouraging. But one thing I really want to get into is like journaling and writing every day, because that is something that'll help me to keep on track, keep my goals, in my face. And then maybe with that can come a little bit of like meditation and stuff. I'm not too sure. What? I don't even know what I don't know about that. So tips on storing greens in a cooler for a week-long camping trip. Wow. Keep them cool. Keep them dry. Good luck. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Oh, Crystal's calling the cat.
Well, I can hear him.
Oh. Can you make a happy birthday video for my son to be 3 years old? Her birthday is in September, and she loves watching your videos. Oh my gosh. Well, you can send a message to me. If you have Instagram, you can send a message on Instagram to my DMs, and hopefully I'll see it and I can do that.
But we don't do that often, so we don't want to put the offer out there, because we've had like people who have asked and stuff, and then at some point it can just be like,
yeah, but you could try. I don't know. It's $100 per mention. No, I'm just kidding. Someone said, I messaged you on Instagram. Yeah, you have to understand, I get so many messages on Instagram that's hard for me to keep up. And a lot of the time I'll get them where they're like really heartfelt messages, or people have like really good questions. And I'm like, dang, I don't have time to answer right now, because I'm just like, cooking something, or, whatever I'm doing. And and then sometimes I don't get back to them. Sometimes I do. But it's hard. It's hard for me to get back to everyone. So don't take it personally. Just keep writing to me, because it doesn't annoy me. I don't see the messages and I'm like, oh my God, this person keeps writing to me. I love seeing them, and I'll try and get back to you. Put a moist towel on the greens, the person said. Yeah, that can definitely help if they like start to like wilt. I know I said keep them dry, but you just like, that can definitely help as well. Hi from Waterloo. End of the summer, hopefully not for a while yet. Well, I don't know about you guys out there, but like as soon as September hits, within the first week of September, the weather has this huge change here, and we just start getting so much rain and everything. So somebody has asked this question a few times, so that we better answer our thoughts on raw veganism. So a lot of thoughts on raw veganism, but ultimately I think, if you feel great and, you're doing something and you're eating things that work for you, I don't, what am I to say about it? I think that you can definitely live a healthy life and, be a healthy vegan by eating raw, right? I'm gonna put these disclaimers out here right away. However, and I know some people that are, that are doing it right now that continue to be healthy. It's definitely a lot of work, because you do, although you're not cooking your food, you do have to like be thinking of having like ripe fruit all the time, and
sprouting,
sprouting stuff. And then, there's, if you want to dehydrate, there's all that sort of stuff. But I'm sure just like veganism, I thought it was really hard at first. And then, it's just second nature to me now. It takes no time and no thought or effort or anything. But the people that I have seen throughout the years that have like struggled with veganism, and that have maybe like quit or like left veganism or had some health struggles, a lot of those people have been doing these sort of more fringe sort of
very strict,
not fringe, I don't want to say, but
rigid,
yes, types, yes,
where they're like there's not a lot in the diet that they eat and stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah, and I think the quest for like purity, I think for some people can be detrimental,
Yes.
as much as eating junk for some people can be
Yes,
as well. And I know that seems really weird for me to say because I'm all about the whole foods, but it's just from my observations, and I think a lot of you guys can look back and see that, like some of the people, some of the bigger figures that have left veganism, they've they've yo-yoed between doing different, like fruit, raw, like different
Juice cleanse,
fasting,
like
that sort of thing.
fasting.
So yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just like eat a lot of raw food, but also eat like lots of cooked food to get the sustenance and the protein that I require, that I like to get in. And it's and kind of helps you to like having it allows you, like you're it's so different when you're eating raw, that like when you go to like a family barbecue, things like that, like not only are you vegan outcast, but you're like even more, and that shouldn't be a roadblock for anyone. So I don't even know why I said that. F that, never mind, forget that, because like be different.
No, it's just really strict.
It's hard,
it's very rigid, it's difficult, and not a lot of people do it correctly.
And I don't know if the benefits that you see, like I don't know if you'll see any more benefits from just eating a really whole foods plant-based diet that's from cooked foods. Anyways, I don't want to go on too long about it because people have tons of different views on this. So if you're interested in like raw food vegan diets, there's definitely like lots of people out there that do that. So go check them out. And yeah, nothing against them, love them. Hey, let's collab. No, I'm just kidding. So anyways, hopefully that answered the question. But I do like talking about that kind of stuff because it's kind of interesting to me. Yeah.
And we're like not against, like someone said, like I like to do sometimes raw meals, some days. Yeah, we're not against that. Like we love to have like fruit and stuff like that, right? Like we're not against that, but it's just you have to find like a balance that works for you where you're like the benefits. Like it's not becoming like detrimental over the long term. Yeah.
So I asked, where do we live? So we live on Vancouver Island. We live in.
We don't like to say exactly where we live.
Well, people
live,
figure that out.
Mid Island.
Mid Vancouver Island. The big city near us is called like Nanaimo.
Well, Derek used to say where we like live, like this town and stuff, and I'm sure you could find that information online if you really search. But we'd have people being like passing through town, like let's hang out, or we'd get emails being like, oh, you guys live here, like, and it would kind of get weird.
When I used to tag,
not that that's a bad thing, but like it kind of is like, it was like, oh, okay, people could probably figure out where we live pretty easy. So
when I tag, I used to tag the gym. Sometimes I get people that were there on vacation and they'd be like, we're passing through and we figured we'd come to this gym because we knew you'd come here and we thought maybe we'd meet you. And I'd be like, hey. It's always nice to meet people, but sometimes I like to, it's like, in an environment I'm like expecting it a little bit more. It caught me off guard there a few times. Someone says, yep, got to have my fruit first thing in the morning. Yeah, fruit first thing, like gentle stuff on your stomach first thing in the morning is great. Someone said introverted couple. I don't know. I don't, I'm not really like, I find it hard to label myself like this because I'm clearly not an introvert, but I'm definitely not like a classic extrovert where like someone says like party or, music festival. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to give me so much energy. This is what I need in my life. Like for me, that's like, oh God, I got to prepare for that. That's a lot of stimulation. But at the same time, yeah, I like to have, a nice tight circle of people.
We love going to the gym and like talking to everyone and like, and then being really like chatty when we're out and stuff like that. Just when we're doing errands and stuff like that. So we like that, but.
So Hugo Viegas has asked a few times, so I'll answer your question about macros. So what are the best macros for strength to weight ratio? So, so I'm guessing, so you just want to like the best macros for you to get strong, but not too bulky, I guess you would say, right? So the thing with macros on a vegan diet is like you can try and hit like a certain macro like ratio, but in the end, you're only going to be able to get so much protein if you're eating whole plant-based foods. So for me, what I focus on is just getting 1 or 2 good sources of higher protein foods at each meal, and then I eat good food for the rest of that meal. Like rice, yams, stuff like that. Get some raw stuff in as well. And then I don't worry about it too much. And I really don't think that, yes, and then obviously I keep the fats fairly low because it's, if you just think about how much fat is, sort of out there, like in nature and like how much we would be eating, you're not going to be eating like, 3 avocados with a meal, obviously a little half an avocado or a quarter of an avocado with your meal. So I don't know. I think, I don't really have any numbers like for you, but like something like 70, 15, 15, like 70 carbs, 15 fat, 15 protein, and then like kind of change would be some, around there. But again, like I don't pay attention at all.
That's naturally where yours usually falls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 15 for protein. Yeah.
It also depends on if you're like, are you a beginner training? Then you might not have to like necessarily worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
are
exactly.
you like advanced bodybuilder, like IFBB pro, like trying to get elite level, or maybe powerlifting or something, might have to like address your nutrition kind of thing. So it's really, really hard to answer that question.
Yeah, when I started working out, I was eating very low protein. If you guys go back way back in the archives and look at 5-6 years ago now, when I was eating so low protein, like some of the days I was getting like 60 grams of protein, and I was building muscle like quickly, and I wasn't taking anything weird or anything like that. I was just working out hard, and my body was just like, wow, we're ready for this. So
the noob gains. That's the other thing too.
Yeah, the noob gains. They come on
noob gains.
Quick.
So if you're a beginner, you're probably going to make gains anyways. So yeah. Now it's a little harder though, eh?
Yeah.
Now it's hard after a few years. Oh goodness.
No, my gains are increasing just like my subscriber count is. Slowly, but steadily. No, I'm just kidding. Let's get to another question. Thoughts on kombucha? Have either of you made or regularly make homemade kombucha? So I've made it before in my past. Nice. Yeah. And it was fun. It was cool. Your house, your like kitchen or wherever you're making it kind of smells a little vinegary. But yeah, it's good. It's, there was a question that came up on the Simnett Nutrition Facebook group a couple weeks ago about this. So I did a little bit of research and wanted to see, what Dr. Greger was saying about it and stuff. And it's, there seems like there's not a ton of good research out there on it. So they were kind of inconclusive. There was some cases that he warned about in the past where there's been some like bad bacteria that's got into people's batches, but apparently they've been growing growing it or cultivating it or whatever in some sketchy conditions. It actually like grew anthrax, believe it or not. I know. Yeah, I know. But they were growing, it was in like a clay pot, and apparently it was super sketch. So anyways, beyond that, I don't really know. It's got some probiotics in there for sure. They say the sugar turns, it converts the sugars and the caffeine into something else.
It's okay to have like
once in a while, I think.
Or something, but I don't think it's necessarily like the super crazy health food. And also it's really important to like dilute it. So a lot of people just drink it like straight and stuff, but because of like obviously like enamel on your teeth and it can be very strong, it's always good to have it with a little bit of water as well, not to drink it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good for you. But I like this. I like the taste of it. I love it. Like GT Dave's kombucha. It's so good. And if that guy, he's found the fountain of youth. And I don't know if you've ever seen GT Dave.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a little bit of like. I don't know if it's
just kombucha.
Yeah, maybe some.
He looks great.
Yeah, so I don't know. If I could look like that, I'll live off kombucha. Yeah. So okay. Oh, someone said, I think that person said, I feel heavy with too much protein, then I'll cut it back. Go by feel.
Yeah, intuition. Yeah, go by how you feel.
Yeah, I don't think protein is really the limiting factor for many people. No. As far as getting their health goals. It might be, but the way that it's not like the other way, because it might actually be holding them back because you're worried about just getting in so much protein and not, good quality foods. What do you do for your pre-sleep routine? How many calories and hours before bed do you eat? Is there anything major you don't that really affects how deep you sleep and well rested? Well, yeah. Okay. So dimming lights as it gets dark is like a big thing, especially lights that are like really like white, because we have some lights in our house, like the one in the kitchen there is like more of a daylight kind of, you can't see, it's not on, but it's really white. And then we have some that are a little bit more like orange yellow. And those are definitely a little bit, better to have on if you need to have some light on, but try and keep the light dim. Obviously, like reduce your screen time before bed, which I'm not good at, but I do turn it like down all the way, is keep it as dark as you can. As far as eating, yeah, just like not eating too close to bed, I find gives me the best sleeps, and not having too much like junk at night when I have like, a bunch of granola, a bunch of sugar and oil and stuff. I wake up in the morning not feeling great, and I know I didn't have a good sleep. As far as like how many calories, I just eat dinner, and then, if I need a little snack or something at night, I'll do that, but I don't track really like the calories. Anything to say on that? You're a reader.
Yeah, I usually like we'll have dinner. And then usually by like 8 o'clock, I'm starting to kind of like get into that pre-sleep routine. Like I won't have anything usually to eat after 8.
You brush your teeth?
Yeah, and then I usually go to bed and I'll read. I love reading, and that like helps me. It just lets my body know that it's like, yeah, it's not like time for bed, and it makes me like so sleepy. And then I usually fall asleep with my Kobo in my hand like this, and Derek comes in and is like, and I'm like, you know, sometimes I'll wake up and be like, I'm reading, and you're like, you were clearly sleeping. But a lot of times I'm just like this, and then and that's like really the only routine. It's not that glamorous, but it seems to work. But I definitely think if you have trouble sleeping, reading like before, like in bed, like when you try to sleep, can really help. Because it's really helped me like fall asleep really quickly.
Yeah, if I just read any time of the day, if I read, I just like I'm right out. So not good for me. But for falling asleep, yeah, really great. But yeah, I think like really the light I think is a really big one for a lot of people. Because you end up just looking at this like bright white until you fall asleep, and then you expect yourself just to be able to fall asleep. And then also like scrolling, I don't think that's good, very very good like to do late at night, because I know that I've been to bed after like having a long like scroll session, and I can like I almost like see it in my head, and I can like scroll through like my thoughts almost like it's got to be programming your mind in a really wild way. Can't be good. Man. So what are our blood types? I actually don't know mine. I probably should. Do you know yours?
I'm O positive.
Oh, good. Nice. There we go. Staying away from phone before bed is a good tip too. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, I was listening. No, I don't want to. Okay, I'll say it. But I was listening to something the other night, and I fell asleep with my phone like under my head, and I slept like that all night. Can't imagine how bad that is. Crystal thought it was so funny.
Well, I was like, why do you bring your phone to bed? Like, that's so hilarious.
No, I think like I had like a headache in the morning. It was so
you woke
bad.
up and you were like, oh my God, I'm gonna like that's probably took a day off my life.
Someone says, thinking of moving to the Pacific Northwest. Do you enjoy having the seasons? This is Kathy. Yeah, love having the seasons. You know, I always say I'd rather live in like California or somewhere where it's like hot all year round. But then people there say, oh, it'd be like really nice to have different seasons. I don't know. It's I don't
really
know.
nice to be able to go somewhere warm when it's winter.
yeah, if you have that option.
But it's really
and California is like just down the coast, so you'll be fine. But yeah, you got to get used to the rain. It'll probably be a little bit heavy at first, you know, but it's beautiful, and it gives you like the winter. I find it like really gives us time to like, yeah, you kind of, you know, you slow down, and you kind of like reassess things, and it allows you to do some more work and catch up on stuff. Where in the summer here, and I imagine I feel like this all the time in somewhere warm like California, it's just like, you know, it's like daylight, get out there, gotta have fun, gotta maximize the day, gotta, you know, do all the things outside. So yeah. We got another super chat. Thanks for answering my kombucha question. Been following for 7 years. Made my day. Oh, well, thanks. Hopefully it was an okay answer. Are there any other vegan probiotic sources? Trying to find the best one.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you could do like kefir, water kefir.
Yeah.
There's also what did I
sauerkraut.
Oh yeah, there's sauerkraut.
Well, sauerkraut's probably the best. Sauerkraut, kimchi are probably the best as far as getting as much probiotics in like a small amount.
Tempeh
will have
like anything really.
Some, but it's not a huge great source of it. But it is fermented. You're right, and it helps.
There is like you can. If you want to like buy products, there are things like, I don't know if you guys know this company called, I think BioK, and they do like the probiotic, like the little containers. They actually make vegan ones now.
Yep.
I had to take antibiotics earlier in the year for like a tooth issue. Anyways, and I actually had those after I took them, and they were like so delicious, but also they have quite a high amount of probiotics, I think, in them. And so that can help too. But obviously like a probiotic, you could probably be way more affordable to take as well. And then load up on those foods too.
Yeah. Pickles are good probiotics. I don't know. That's news to me. I think pickles are just like pickled. They just have like, it's just in like vinegar. So I don't know how much probiotics are in there, but yeah, maybe if they're like fermented, I don't really know.
Isn't it better for your gut to eat a wide variety of foods and take probiotics? Yes, of course. But if you've just come off of like antibiotics or something, there can be some benefit to like taking larger kind of doses. Of probiotic, or not larger doses. I don't mean that. I mean taking like a probiotic supplement or whatever, because you like are going from having like nothing to hopefully like reseeding that, right? So it depends. It depends on the situation.
And the combination, you can, why not both?
Yeah, exactly. yeah. And it's not something that you take long term. Like I don't have those things anymore or anything like that, but
well,
it helped and they were really good.
Yeah, they taste good.
Yeah.
But sauerkraut every day sauerkraut. And you can make your own. It's really easy. I have a video on how to make it, but there's way easier videos to follow than mine. Tyler Marinette give us a $69 super chat. So thank you. That's like,
thank you.
Yeah,
That's so sweet. And no
so
message.
Nice. No message. Just
next time.
Just a thanks. So, what are some foods to eat on a budget? Oh, definitely like the dried stuff, you know, like rice, dried lentils. Lentils are like the cheapest.
Beans. If you have an Instant Pot, they're so easy to
make.
If you
like,
can, you don't really have to like soak them or anything.
I know you're on a budget, but if you can somehow get an Instant Pot, sometimes people sell them used. But a lot of the time they'll be, you know, wait till they go on sale at stores like or Canadian Tire up here, but you know, Costco or whatever, some big name stores. And yeah, and then now you're saving some money. Like lentils are the best because they're you know, they're great for the environment. They don't take a ton of water and stuff to grow. They're nitrogen fixers. They add nitrogen back to the soil. They're actually higher in protein than beans are. Generally easier to digest. Yeah, lentils are and they're cheap. Like they're so cheap. And then you can even go get the most expensive lentils, French lentils or poi lentils, which are like the Cadillac of all lentils, and you're still not spending much money on food. Oh my god, so this is funny. Someone asked, would you rather have 10 hobbies or one passion? Oh my, I'm like all of the above. Like no, yeah,
10 hobbies.
Yeah,
you do have like that many.
I need variety. I love having different hobbies.
Yeah, there needs a variety.
Oh, somebody said
that's a really great question though. That's like hard to answer.
Oh yeah. So someone says, I'm sorry if I'm late or if somebody asked this already. This is Life with Marin. What's your take on fasting and autophagy for health? So autophagy is when we fast for long enough and our body starts to like eat isn't the proper word, like deconstruct or like use like, you know, dead and dying cells. And it's supposedly great. So yeah, I mean, I think that there's definitely like benefits to that. Yeah, I you know, fasting, I think there's a couple benefits that can come from it, but I think like one big one for a lot of people is just like resting your digestive tract, because we're so used to just constantly having like food in us, and it's like as soon as we get those hunger pains. Is it hunger pain or pang?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like
pains.
I just always like, yeah, maybe. I'll have to correct me. That we eat, right? And we're not used to it, but I think there's like, you know, our microbiome definitely gets like as much as it likes fiber and, you know, the prebiotic material, I think it also, you know, benefits from being empty sometimes. So I think there's some benefit to that. But, you know, if you struggle with any like, you know, issues around food, eating, you know, disordered eating, that sort of stuff, obviously, you know, probably not for you. It's a really good way to limit the amount of calories that you eat, because you end up, you know, only eating for a certain window. And then there's like the autophagy and stuff like that, which, yeah, that I have to admit, I don't know too much about. I've listened to some podcasts and stuff on it, and it sounds all good, but you know, when I'm like really hungry, I just eat. So yeah, I don't know. Anything to say on it, Crystal? I know.
I think individually, it's like you have to take it like an individual basis. Some people do well with extended fasting or intermittent fasting, depending on like the eating window, and some people, as always, can take it too far, and it can become like we talked about earlier in the video, it can become more detrimental than healthy. So it really just depends on how you feel when you are maybe practicing it. Yeah. And then looking for any signs or like red flags that are like, oh, my body's actually not doing that well with this, which would be like constant hunger after, you know, in your eating window, not being able to like, you know, get full.
Blood sugar irregulation is one that you have to pay attention to. Like if you know, you eat that big meal after you fast, and then like you're always like really tired or whatever after, then it might not be good for you. Women
tend to have a harder time with extended fasting, so that's just another thing to keep in mind as well. It's not always beneficial for us.
Yeah, I think like biologically, men seem to do better.
With, like, y'all can just do whatever you want.
You know, I don't know. You know what? It's because we're supposed to be like out, you know, hunting, running, gathering, and fighing things, and then you guys are like, you know, back at the cave, like snacking and taking care of the kids. Oh my god. So let me get some more. Oh, do you guys know any good vegan female athletes to watch on YouTube besides Crystal? Obviously, Crystal's channel she doesn't do that, and her channel's been quiet for a while. Yes, Summer Fun Fitness. She's sort of I'd call her a friend of mine now online, and she's out in the Okanagan, and she does like calisthenics stuff as well. She's super strong, and yeah, she's just kind of like, she's on the come up. So check her out. She's a cool person. I can't really think of any other ones though that are like vegan female athletes, but yeah, check her out. Summer Fun Fitness. She's on. Natasha Ocean is amazing. Yeah, she's really good too.
She's not vegan, but yeah.
Bianca Taylor, she's good too. Yep, she's good as well. But yeah, check out this girl. She's really cool. And she's like strong. She's got muscle ups and all that sort of stuff. And then someone was asking about Crystal's journey, and if you're ever going to share your fitness journey in a video.
On Derek's channel, maybe. I mean, if that's something that you guys want to see. I feel like that would be like really boring. But I always realize that it's not like the end destination, right? Like I'm not like a calisthenics star, or like I can't do like the things that I want to be able to do yet. But I've gotten stronger from where I was.
Yeah.
So that's always like fun. So maybe
a lot of people are inspired by people that aren't so far ahead of them that it seems out of reach. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they've seen you progress from maybe where they were, or where they know they could be to where you are now. Yeah. For me, I know when I sometimes watch, people that are extremely good at something, sometimes I'm in awe, but it doesn't always like motivate me, because it's like, man, I'll never get there. But somebody who's just a chapter or two ahead, I'm like, yeah, I'm on that guy's heels, or girl, and I'm getting there. So
cool.
Yeah, great answer. Yes, we want to see Crystal's journey. Cool.
It'll be very fun. I know a few people have asked if I'm gonna come back to like Instagram or like my own personal YouTube channel, and I'm not sure. Originally I took a break from Instagram. It was only supposed to be like for a week, like a year ago, and I never really came back. But I feel good. Like I feel great about it. Like I'm not upset at myself or anything like that. I just don't know if like I don't like to say influencer, but I just don't know if I'm like really cut out for social media, to be completely honest. As my own like self, I love being like on the channel with Derek and like sharing that kind of like our life with you guys and that kind of thing. But on my own, I just don't know. Yeah,
fair enough. You don't have to say anything else. It's okay.
If that's like
it's hard. It's
right
hard, man. And like it took me a long time to sort of like come to terms with it. And when I was younger, like I always had a really hard time with criticism, even if it was like constructive criticism or nice like criticism. It was like really, I don't know. I guess I have like so much pride that it was always really, really hard for me. And this has been a real big journey for me to get over that a little bit more. I know you're watching Polly in the background, but it's been really helpful. But it is something that I constantly have to work on. So yeah, I don't know. I understand that it might not be for everyone.
Yeah, Kez said in the comments that she started cycle coaching school because of me, which is really sweet.
Oh, cool.
And I sometimes think about that. I'm like, I could, there's that aspect of like helping others or like inspiring them to do things that maybe they wouldn't have done themselves. But also I want you to know, Kez, that you will come out of that course. I don't know if you finished it yet, and you'll be that person helping to inspire people. And I kind of knew, stepping back from social media, that there was going to be other people that were going to like have the torch and like and be that voice and like be able to do it. It might not be my voice or whatever. But that always makes me feel good too, knowing that like people like Kez are going to be out there helping others. So
yeah.
But I appreciate that like so many people in the comments, like, you guys miss me on Instagram and stuff. It makes me feel nice, but I just don't know if I'll ever come back to my own thing. We'll see.
So 10,000 thank yous, Derek, for guiding me into an athletic vegan identity. Cool. 3 years now, this November 1st, which saved my life. Seriously, you both have amazingly good karma coming to you. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I love hearing that, and it's amazing how many people have been able to like inspire, just like feel like just so happy with that. It's just incredible, because I look back and I remember the people that were early influencers on me, and although some of them have sort of changed in recent years and stuff, like they I'll always be like thankful for that. So yeah, very cool. And I'm honored that I can be that person, but hopefully I continue to stay like consistent and inspire you and not, change too much or get weird. I won't though. Hey, Herman Ponton, thank you. He says, I learned a lot from you Crystal, regarding menstrual health for my girlfriend and relationship tips.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry about that. Our cat just tried to climb up the back of the table and fell and knocked a whole bunch of stuff over.
That's great. I'm glad, and that's why I've left all my stuff on Instagram and YouTube public instead of making everything private, because I want people to have access to the information. I worked really hard on that. It took a lot of my time, and so I'm really glad that everyone or that people still are able to learn from it, and that you have learned from it. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it was you were doing such great work on there.
Thank you.
Tips for gaining weight from a 44-kilogram girl trying to fill out a bit. I do go to the gym too. Man, yeah, I mean, I don't have any secret tips other than, like I said earlier, smoothies are great, but that person earlier wasn't able to digest smoothies too well. But smoothies are great for helping to increase calories. Yeah, this person just said eat more, lift heavy. The one thing that I've seen from Crystal, which has helped her put on some muscle, is how hard she goes in the gym. She always worked out consistently and worked out fairly hard, but now she's pushing that, and going to failure. Or really close to failure on a lot of things, and I think that's what's helped you get a lot stronger.
Calisthenics too really has helped, because you're using so many muscles.
Yes.
Not just isolating stuff. That's really helped. And pushing it, being you know what, I can do some push-ups. Let's try decline push-ups, and how does that feel? And then it was really hard, and I was bad at it when I first started. But now I'm a lot better at it. And so, just doing different variations of stuff too. Yeah. It's so easy to get into the same routine. But
you got to stimulate your body to want to, utilize those calories is the big thing. But yeah, eat more. I wish, I wish I had more advice. You could, there's tips that you could use, mashing and blending food is a really good way to eat more. If you, I've said this before, but rather than just having beans, if you do refried beans, it's so much easier to eat almost double the amount. So yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. Oh, this is an interesting question. What do you feel is the long-term goal to vegan success? Well, does that, I'm not sure. Do I understand that? What do you feel is the long-term goal to vegan success?
Or what helps with long-term vegan success?
Right. Yeah.
Learn how to cook. Being able to cook, trying new things, different flavors, cuisines, and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, you could potentially get bored, and I think a lot of people actually do get bored after a while, and then they're just I don't want to do it anymore, or whatever, right? Let's call spade spade. So, learning how to cook, I think, is the number one thing.
And seasoning, spices,
good foods.
Yeah,
learning what works for you as well.
Yeah,
makes you feel good.
Find a few staple meals that that you can whip up really quickly, that you always have ingredients on hand. Meal
planning can really help, especially with your jobs and stuff like that. That can be really helpful depending on the hours you work. It really pays in the end to do that.
So here's an interesting question.
I guess we were done with that question.
Oh, well,
I just thought it was, I mean, there's so many other things, making sure, you're getting, making sure if you're getting blood tests, you want to make sure that, you obviously, B12 supplementation, your iron and stuff. There's so many things to, succeed long term.
Having a community, I think, is really helpful too, which you found, with the Simnett nutrition community, but also just anything online, and find some friends online that you can kind of interact with. And especially if you don't have any, a support group, locally, that could be really helpful. And then just for me, at least in the beginning, when it was sort of now it's just my life, so I don't even think about it animal products to me just don't seem like food. So it's not I don't have the cravings, I don't worry about it anymore. It's just there's just that wall there, not an option. But before, when I wasn't maybe quite as convicted with my beliefs and stuff, one thing that really helped me was to go back and watch watch different videos and movies and stuff to remind me about, why I went vegan. So watching things it wasn't Cowspiracy at the time, but stuff like that, Forks Over Knives, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, or whatever that one is. Watch those again, and what?
There's just an interesting question that we can answer.
Yeah, where you think this one here?
Yeah,
I know. So yeah, those are some other things as well. But yeah. That's really it. Yeah, good one. So Sky Gardner says, are y'all vegan or plant-based? I've heard a lot of speculation lately in the community that you guys are not ethical vegans. I know. I find that funny that people. I wonder if there's like some message boards or if it's on Reddit or where.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I've you know, the terms are subjective, right? I mean, if you're an ethical vegan, do you have to be? Is there like plant-based, vegan, and then ethical vegan, or is it ethical vegan and vegan the same thing?
I think I know where this probably stems from, is the fact that we have like 2 cats now.
Yeah,
right?
no, I understand.
And we had cats like in the past, and then we adopted 2 other cats.
Mhm.
So I guess it depends on like what people's definition is, because yes, obviously we have cats. We do not feed them a vegan diet. So in that aspect, would we then be considered plant-based because we're not technically like ethical true vegan because of that? Then yes, I guess that would be. I mean, like, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Like,
and if we're not, because of that, to some people, then I totally understand that, and I see the hypocrisy, and and I get that, and that's fine. And if that to you, makes me null and void or not somebody that you want to follow, then I understand that. The way that I see it is that, I know that we have to protect this term veganism, and I know that we can't just throw it out there to people that eat vegan once a week, and then they say they're vegan, because we have, there is some value, like obviously.
Yes, there's a literal definition of what it is.
Yeah, right. But if we make it like, you can't have that old leather couch that you used to have, because that, you can't have cats. You can't kill the bugs in your house. You can't whatever,
be around people that eat
meat. You can't have people in your house that whatever. So, and a lot of these are extreme, right? And whatever. And I'm kind of using it to justify where we're at. I know that. But it's like, we got to make this attainable for people, right? And if it's like, you can't have,
you're never going to be perfect enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? And
then
a lot
why
of people
even try, right? Why even try? But
it doesn't bother me if people want to debate that.
Yeah.
I know what's true in like my heart. I know what's true in our hearts. I know how we live our life. I love having our animals, to be honest. I love that we're giving them a good home in a situation where otherwise they might not have a good home.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I go to bed feeling good. And so if people want to speculate that or like be upset, then like, I don't know.
Someone says can't go in a car because you'll
I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
like it sucks that people get so uppity and stuff, but we're trying to do good work, and I think we do.
Yeah.
But it's never going to be we're never going to be perfect for everyone. So.
Yeah, and I get it. Like I understand, and if that means that I'm not vegan to you, then that's okay. Then I'm just plant-based to you, and that's fine. But I do my best to honor animals and to not eat any, and to inspire others to do the same. And I have done that. I've inspired hundreds of thousands of people to eat plant-based. So sucks. Yeah. So thanks for bringing it up. I like those questions. I like the tough stuff. And if anybody cares to comment on that, then. But
like, don't you guys? We don't want.
Yeah, we don't want people fighting in the comments.
We don't want you guys to be like rude to the person that asked the question, because this is. It's a valid question, and I understand that. I know that there's a lot of I think a lot of people in this community can also have trust issues because of what has happened in the past, where people have been like, I'm vegan, and they're just not in their lives, and it's like, what? So I can understand where these things come from. Like, we're not selling you guys a lie or anything like that, but I can also understand why people would think that, because we've,
But let's turn this into a little bit of positive thinking to the future.
Yeah.
Where am I going?
I'm not sure where you're going,
but you're like, help me.
Yeah, what's the positive thing?
Hopefully there's some more sustainable and less cruel meat alternatives in the future for cats to eat, like lab grown stuff, right? And hopefully that comes quick, because let's start giving it to the animals right away before we're giving it to people. Actually, give it to everybody. I don't care, whoever wants it. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I think I don't necessarily trust these big companies that are in charge of all this stuff, but I would like to see. Would like to see that. We'll look into changing for cat food made from lab-grown meat when it's available in the future. Exactly. I have cats too. Yeah, sure. Anyways, So cats donates taurine. We can
have vegan cats if you want. We don't feel comfortable with doing that. We have one of our cats has a health issue and she's doing really well right now. And what we're feeding her.
Yeah.
So
she has an autoimmune condition.
So right now,
anyways,
is working, but of course we can justify that all day. Right?
Someone said let the cats be outdoors. They will catch birds, moles, gophers. Yeah.
I don't know though, because one of our cats does go outside a lot. I don't know if she's actually caught anything. We don't really want that. And in the winter,
we don't want that. And
out,
we did used to have a bird feeder in our yard, but we took that away because we're like, this is straight cruel. But like, we can't be bringing the birds in for the cats. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on.
It's a good question though, like controversial.
No, it's a really good question, and I can understand that being a like sticky point for some people, but for some people they're just like, yeah, whatever, we don't care, just keep doing the best you can, and then hey, we're here for that too. Anyways, all right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, someone's like, if people label you not vegan for feeding your cats that they need tea, that's ridiculous, but. That's okay. Everybody has different. Everyone's I remember when I first. You always at different stages in this whole like vegan journey thing, right? And it's like I remember when I first went vegan, it was just like any little thing that people were doing that would that wasn't in line with 100% veganism. I was just like, I can't freaking understand you, and you're a bad person. But then you sort of evolve and things change. And
well, some people believe that no one should have pets because technically pets, I guess you could look at it as that, not even.
So Cindy, yes, move on. Well, ask some more questions. We'll get to them.
Someone said they've not seen the squirrel picnic content. Yeah, because we haven't had the squirrel come back into our yard. Well, we have squirrels around our yard, but they don't really come into our yard as much because we don't have the bird feeder up because we don't want them to come into our yard if obviously if the cats are around or something like that. There's a lot of cats in our neighborhood. So it's like surprising that there are just so many animals around. They're all, I don't know, they're not catching anything. The cats.
Man, one time I went outside at night to get one of our cats, the Ollie, the one that goes out inside. Anyways, really quick story, but it was like there was so many animals out there. I was like, what? This goes on at night. There was a couple of raccoons. They were all just hanging out, looking at each other. There was like a squirrel out there, a rabbit, and then there was like this neighborhood cats I'd never even seen. I was like,
and Ollie's just there, like looking.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, no more cat stuff. Unless you want to see her do a trick or something. No, I'm just kidding. She doesn't have any tricks. Someone's like, ideally, we would not breed and domesticate animals.
Of course.
Like
we
do messed up stuff. It's stupid. I drive a car to go to the gym to work out that I could just do in my backyard. Like, but eventually if you start doing all this, it's like, well, let's just like stay home. Like, what's the point of what's the point of hockey arenas? It's like takes a lot of energy for the environment. Like, why do we need that? Let's get rid of that. Why golf courses? Why anyway? Let's just like stay home, deliver me my food. Just like feed it to me. Anyways. Okay. There was another
someone asked, how do we advocate for like eating vegan or
Oh, I saw that was the question. Yeah, because around family, right?
Being, like preachy and stuff.
Yeah, that was a good question. So
you can just like lead by example, bring some food so you can share it with everyone.
Can I just say though, I liked how they asked the question because it was thoughtful because they were like, how do we promote veganism and encourage it with our family members without being preachy, but without also being like, really submissive. You do me, I do you, because those are the kind of vegans everyone's like, oh yeah, you're such a good vegan because you don't tell me what to do. It's like that's what people love, but I
don't think telling people what to do helps though. I think it is important to be like not judgy, but also be like, hey, like try this stuff that I made. You really like it.
Shine the light, make bright, colorful food, delicious food.
It's not fun when people judge you or for eating a certain way and stuff. It sucks, right? So it's don't do it kind of back.
No.
But be that light.
Make it seem fun, make it seem easy, even if it isn't, just like, I love cooking and burning stuff all the time. Charcoal. But that's really it. Because my mom, she came around, right? At first she was like, she just ate her sort of standard way. And then, I started eating vegan and she thought it was a phase. And then she thought I started to look really sick because my face changed. It got skinnier. And she's like, you got to go to the doctor, get your blood test. Because I'm worried about you. Oh, yeah, you guys remember the story. My hands were orange because I had beta keratinosis because I was eating so much beta carotene, which is fine. It's not harmful. Anyways, but eventually she came around and now my mom's eating, virtually 100% plant-based, let's say 99. And she feels great, off medication, no more joint pain, stuff like that. She had this terrible acid reflux kind of stuff. Not to put her on blast. She loves me sharing this stuff, though, because it helps other people. But with her, it was just being consistent and showing her that you can do this and showing her that I can be healthy over long term and that it's successful was like the best way. I remember saying that about the lighthouse. It was like, I am just a lighthouse. I'm not out there saving every sinking ship. I think it's such a good saying. Just be the light. Just be that lighthouse. Stand firm. Stand strong. They see you. They know you're shining. Are our cats adopted? Yeah, they are actually. There you go. Adopted from the pet store. No, I'm just kidding. No, they were adopted. Yeah, really. Yeah, a couple of random stories. One was sort of a family friend. They got a cat that we were actually supposed to get, and the cat was pregnant, and they were like, "Oh my god, we got to deal with these kitties." So we're like, "Hey, we'll take one of those cats." That kind of worked out. So it's not really an adoption, just sort of a weird situation. But the other one, Ollie, yeah, we got a call late at night. We knew there was the word out that we wanted cats. Someone was like, "Yo, I found a cat, $50," and like we were like,
random house or whatever. Oh,
yeah.
she was so.
She was like, she didn't have a good youth. We know that because she was traumatized. But yeah, we were like, yeah, we want her.
She's doing so good now.
She's doing good now, but she's the one with the health problems. She's got this. I don't even know.
I know it's like
such a long name.
Anyways, but she's doing really good.
Yeah.
And she's really come out of her shell. Still a bit of a nervous Nelly, but like I just can't imagine like what other home would be okay.
I'm just gonna go to the washroom really quickly, but this Jay Savino, can you give me some inspo on mental health right now? I'm gonna leave Crystal with that. No, because I will, but you have.
What does it mean by inspo?
2 seconds. Inspiration. Like how to get over mental health problems, struggles.
Well, it depends on like what the mental health issues kind of are. What really helped me when I was struggling in the past was like realizing that every day is a new day. So you might have like a really crappy day today, but you'll go to bed tonight and like tomorrow is like a restart. Like you get to just like restart the day. And that always really helped me, especially on the days where I was feeling like really awful, is just being like, okay, I go to bed, like tomorrow is a new day. So I can kind of, plan that. And like, I don't know, that made me feel better. Something that also made me feel good when I was having my mental health stuff, or not made me feel good, but like made me see the light, is realizing, and this, I don't want this to sound like harsh, but I realized that like there's people out there with like bigger struggles than me, and my issues were very like small compared to others. And I'm not saying that your issues are small or anything like that, but like I was like in my early 20s when I was like struggling, and then I went to this group and I met with other people. It was kind of like I don't know, like a therapy group or whatever. Anyways, so and then seeing people that were older, very established, had children and stuff, really, really struggling with their mental health. I was like, whoa, okay, like I need to just it was hard to see that, and then me be like complaining, if that makes sense, because my life was very I had like, it was pretty easy compared to like what other people were going through, and so that kind of like opened my eyes to being empathetic and compassionate to other people's struggles, with also recognizing my own, but also recognizing that like I do have the power to like get better and stuff like that, especially when other people who are struggling harder are putting in that work and stuff like that. And that might sound a little bit harsh, but that like actually really opened my eyes and really helped me. Because I think sometimes when you're struggling with mental health, you think you're very alone, you're like drowning, you're like no one else feels this way, and like so many people do. And that really helped.
Yeah, really good advice, Crystal.
Yeah,
it's tough out there. Like we just have to like, now there's social media and all this stuff. We just like have to adapt to it, and it's it's like tough, man. It's hard out there. Just like know that like, Crystal, that's why I wanted you to handle, because I know that not too much of your history, but you have a past, with a bit of mental health struggles, where I definitely have my ups and downs, and I think it's a little bit more like what most people sort of experience, rather than like real sort of depression or whatever. But I just think like it's so hard, because knowing that you deserve to like feel good, like you are amazing and you're worth feeling great, and you're worth like doing things that you enjoy. But I know when you're there, and I know for me, like doing the things that I enjoy don't feel good, because you're like, well, I'm kind of sucking at life, and I'm going to try and do this thing that makes me feel better, but I know I'm not doing great. So but I know that's not helpful, but just understand like, we definitely all go through it. Anyways, thanks, Crystal, for that. I think that's like really good advice.
Yeah, it's hard. It can be a real struggle. It can take a really long time to feel better, but like I feel like if I could get out of that hole and I can feel better, then like anyone can.
Couple things that might have helped you at the time, which you weren't doing necessarily: exercise.
Yes, exercise.
And it's really hard to drag your butt out, but just do anything, something small. Don't say, okay, I got to go for 45-minute run. What? No, it's like around the block. That's all you got to do. Just get your shoes on, get outside. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
At the start. And but yeah, that's a big one. And then getting out into nature if you can. Get into nature. And I know that seems like whatever, but really can help. Like, you know, scientifically can help. So that too.
Another thing,
microbiome, sauerkraut, you know, make sure that's good. What were you gonna say?
Another thing that can really help, I don't know if you have access to this or if anyone in the comments, if you're struggling with your mental health, if you have access, but where we live, there's like a mental health kind of like unit. So it's like a health unit or like a health center focused on mental health. And a lot of them offer programs or like free stuff. So that's where I had actually gone and did like that group kind of therapy or whatever with other people. It wasn't one-on-one, but it was like free. Like you had to just access it and call them and stuff. And that really helped. And that gave me a lot of tools. There was like a booklet, like there was so much help that came from that. And then of course, being around other people and like talking about stuff as well, like how your week was and hearing other people's week and that kind of thing. Like that was really important. So hopefully you have access to that, or maybe you can find something. Like even I know a lot of times, like through the pandemic, they did like there was a lot of like Zoom stuff as well. So I don't know if places are still offering that, but if you look it up in your area, I'm sure you'll be able to find something.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then somebody here said, yeah, just do the few things that you still feel excited and passionate about. So
exactly, yeah, that can help. So like when I would like paint and draw and like explored art when I was doing it, because that felt really good, because I felt like I had would like accomplish something in my day that like felt good. I'm like, oh look, I was able to do something, because when you're in the thick of things and you're not doing anything, just being able to accomplish something feels really good. So that was really helpful as well. And finding support too, like I wouldn't be able to have done anything without my family, so that really helps too. Hopefully you have a supportive family.
Cool, nice. Oh yeah, no. Someone was like, yeah, get out of here. So we've got ourselves a troll. Bye. Okay. So what else have we got? Are lectins in beans harmful, or is it fine to eat lots of them and other foods containing lectins? Lectins in beans are really harmful, but that's why you got to cook the beans. So yeah, as long as you cook them, it should get rid of, like more than enough of them that are going to cause any harm. Beans are some of the most healthful foods in the world. So trust me, it's not like the, the greater body of evidence that looked at beans forgot to include anti-nutrients.
They're like, they're so healthy. Oh wait, never mind. We forgot this. But yeah, just cook them. Don't eat
cook them
beans or anything like raw.
Yeah. Yep, obviously. Cook
I mean, if you sprout some things, yeah, but I mean, I feel like sprouted stuff can be harder on your stomach, to be completely honest, but maybe not for some people.
All right. Well, man, we're at an hour and 12 minutes. I promised Crystal we wouldn't go too much over an hour today, because I always just stay on here. I miss the time too. I always stay on here for so long. We'll answer like 3 more questions, and then and then we'll get going. But so Hugo keeps asking about 300 grams of cooked beans is a lot.
It feels like it must be a lot. I don't know.
That's probably a lot. And if you always feel bloated,
that's maybe a lot.
Start with a small amount at first, especially if you're finding some digestive upset from it. Yeah, beans are a tough one.
But your body does get used to them.
But your body definitely does get used to them. Yep. So, right. Okay, we got a question from Trini Gurevec. Do you use seed oils? So, yeah, seed oils is a hot topic these days. It used to be, like it was like saturated fat for a while. It's like now it's like seed oils are the big thing.
It's always so like
so
trends.
Yeah, like as far as oil goes, we don't eat very much of it at all. But there's definitely some seed oils that are in my diet, and they'll be in some of the tortillas that I eat sometimes, and less and less lately. But occasionally I'll have like some mock meat or something. It'll be in there, but I'm just not cooking with it, right? And especially if I'm going to reach for an oil to like have with a salad or something like that. I'm not going to reach for like canola oil or something like that. I'm obviously going to reach for like a cold pressed olive oil, which is probably going to be your best option. But I do use a little bit of toasted sesame seed oil from time to time because I like the flavor, and it's definitely probably not good for you because it's like cooked, roasted sesame seeds. But I buy like an organic one, no additives and that sort of thing, and I'll just use it in like a saute. But yeah, for the most part, we don't want to be consuming a ton of it. Like it's just not a great, source of calories.
If
like
you're eating whole foods, you don't have to worry really about like seed oils unless you're just drenching your food in oil in general, which it's so funny that people get so worked up about like seed oils or, whatever is the new trending thing. And it's like, well, why are you not eating a lot of these? You shouldn't be eating a lot of these.
Once I stopped cooking with it, it's really like you lose a taste for it. You don't really want a lot of oil on your food anyways. And it's like, if you look at oil, I did a video on this not too long ago. If you look at it nutritionally, compared to other foods per calorie, oil is the worst food we could possibly eat nutritionally. Like it's like got very little minerals in it, very little vitamins. And someone's going to come on here and say, but it has vitamin E. But that's about it. And maybe, some omega, some different fats and stuff. But we can get those from other foods along with many other vitamins and minerals and fiber and protein. There's nothing. There's none of that. Like go on Chronometer, put in 250 calories of any oil, put in 250 calories of any food, and just like look. And, this is why oil's not a health food, in my opinion.
Oh, that super chat.
Oh,
that
super
was a
chat.
really good one. It was calling you out a little bit. But I know you have a good response to it.
Oh, with the oil?
No, this is from Bar.
Here's some good criticism for your glyphosate video. All you talked about in the video is there are pesticides in our food and how much, and when you showed the research on health, it's on mouse. Yes, there's not a lot of research on the effects of pesticides and like human health because how
are you going to test that?
Yeah, how are they going to test that?
Without hurting people, legitimately hurting people. And there's been lots of connections made to like glyphosate and possibly being carcinogenic in animal trials. You can just imagine what that's doing to our bodies. Mm-hmm. Like the way that glyphosate works is what the bugs eat it and then it like explodes their stomach. Like it completely ruins.
Well, it's not exactly, but with bacteria, not bugs.
Oh, sorry, with that. Yeah. And it's what's it doing to us then? And they can't, you're not going to go to a lab.
I don't know.
They're going to be like injecting you with glyphosate. Yeah. Like, let's see what happens.
Well,
they know it's like.
I think I don't want to speak too out of school on it, but I know that the test that they did or the study that they've done to say that it's like fine on like the human cells, they they have found that that it doesn't affect human cells. So whatever they did to find that out, they found that out. However, it does affect bacteria very negatively. And if you think about, we know our body is made up of a lot of microbes and bacteria. So, as far as like gut health goes, I didn't even mention that in the video because I don't know enough about it. But that's a big concern. If you want to look up the shikimate pathway, feel free, and you'll learn a lot. But anyways, okay. There was another good question.
But it's not like it's not good stuff. It's chemical, right? Like, and I know the dose makes the poison. A lot of people said that in the comments. That too, yeah. And it's like, okay, yes, but if people are constantly eating very high levels of glyphosate in their food, for example, oats, very high levels in like non-organic oats, then like you're having that every single day. Yeah. That's a big dose. Those are lots of doses every single day. That's something to think about.
What I learned in that video, which is wild to me, was that there's different acceptable levels for different foods. Yeah. So they tell us like oats usually fall under the recommended allowable levels for glyphosate residue. But then if it was judged,
any other food,
if it was judged by the same thing as other food, it would be sky high, it wouldn't be allowed. And then just while we're on this point, just for any Canadians that are in here, Health Canada is currently trying to increase the allowable levels of glyphosate on our food by 2 and 3 times for some food. So if you're Canadian, this should be on your radar because this is huge and it's terrible. We already have quite high levels allowed already. So anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. Keep that on your radar because the implications for this would be like bad. You can imagine that our grain, if it's highly sprayed, won't be able to be sent to many countries like Europe that have higher, that have higher standards. And then we could also become a dumping ground for highly sprayed pesticides from other countries around the world because our levels would just be so high. So anyways, Ridiculous.
So DJ
Health
says
Canada.
that her mom gets angry because there's so much info about food that like
Everything's
bad for you, so she throws her hands in the air. I totally understand that. Totally empathize with that, because it does make you feel like that. You're like, screw it, I don't even care. I'll just eat whatever I want, and that's totally fine. But there's like little changes that you can do.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy like fully organic.
So everything's bad.
But,
like everything can kill us. If you drink too much water, it can kill us. Right. I understand that. And when you first start talking about all these healthy foods, it's like, everything, the pesticides on healthy food could kill us. So what's the point? Well, the thing, that's part of my message, and it was in that video, is like, the one thing I don't want people to do is hear this information and then just like throw up their arms and go, well, I'm just going to get McDonald's then. Because here's the thing, the food, like the McDonald's food, as we know, this is the same pesticide-laden ingredients that you would get from the produce section. However, what they've gone and done is obviously processed it, removed the fiber, removed a lot of the nutrition, probably added some synthetic ones back in, along with preservatives and other crap like that. But they've removed a lot of the nutrition, antioxidants, the stuff that actually fight back against the damage that's caused from pesticides and the different toxins that are in our food supply. So we have to, even if it's organic or not, you're still better off eating whole foods, because they have those the components that will buffer the negative effects from other stuff. Yeah, I don't know if she's going to listen to that, but that's that's the reality of it. So and also, like, I don't know, like, don't do nothing because you can't do everything. That's another good saying I like in this world, because it it's just like puts everything into perspective. It's like you don't have to do everything in order not to die early, but you should do a few things to try. It's
just really about like reducing your exposure as much as you can. You're never going to be like 0% exposed to these things.
And like some people said in the video, they spray pesticides on like non-organic food and stuff too.
And that wasn't the
organic food.
Yeah, and that wasn't the aim of the video, to be like organic so much better because it's not sprayed. It does have sprays, but it's just different. Like anyways, the only time that you'd really know if like everything's good is if you grew your own garden and stuff, and then like had it like in a dome, so it wasn't getting any like outside air, because we know glyphosate can be in the air, especially if you live in like farming communities. So yes, don't do nothing because you can't do everything. But I understand that it can be like really frustrating.
Cool. Jive Cat, the Magnificent. I didn't pre-read this question, so hopefully it's fine. But they said, I met you guys years ago in Bristol. So that would have been when we were at one of the...
That's so fun.
Yeah, man. I hope we can go back to some of those soon. I love those. That was like a highlight, like life. When I'm on my deathbed and I like think back on my life highlights, like those are going to be some good memories of the Veg Fest and stuff. I asked the Q&A if you'd seen the then brand new Vegetable Police video about you. Question, have either of you ever done any martial arts?
So this was like an old video that he did of you?
Wow.
What did he, I can't remember what the video was of.
Man, that was funny. I had not thought of Vegetable Police in so long. Man, there used to be so many characters in the vegan community. What happened? Maybe they still are. I just don't like watch them. But man, that was like way back.
That's so funny.
No, martial arts. When I was young, I did like judo in like camp. But like, no, I've never done any martial arts.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love that question.
Yeah,
that's so good.
But what does that have to do with Vegetable Police?
Well, the person just said that they asked in the Q&A.
Oh.
Like, 'cause remember you did the Q&A?
Oh. Huh.
The then brand new Vegetable Police.
Oh, so two different questions here. Yes, right.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. I don't think I've seen anyone make a video of me.
I used to, well, a very long time ago when I was just a little girl, I did karate. That was super fun. And then I have done kickboxing, which I'm going to go back to in September. I just took a couple weeks off just because it's summer and we want to like enjoy the summer. We have stuff that we want to do, but I don't know. Is kickboxing a martial art though? Maybe. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I'm not like kickboxing against like someone else. I'm just using a bag. It's not like I'm just like bah bah kick. I just don't want anyone to get the wrong impression.
Oh my god, people want to see this Vegetable Police video now. That's
I don't even remember what.
Yeah, somebody said he was saying I was the best content creator, which is nice. I don't think he was always so complimentary, but maybe he was. I don't know. And then sadly, he kind of dropped out of veganism. Yeah. Yeah, and then he started to do like camera videos, review videos, or something like that. I don't know. Anyways,
that's what he's doing now.
I don't know. For a while,
I thought he came back. I don't know.
He was.
I hope he's doing good.
Yeah, again, another flip flopper. But hey, okay.
I hope he's doing well. Those videos were he was a funny guy.
Yeah, someone said. I think Crystal said at the time that she'd seen it, but you hadn't. Oh, and then kickboxing is awesome. So good for your mental health. Hey, yeah, I'd say it counts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, kickboxing, awesome. Like the workouts are so intense. Yeah, like I go to a studio and then we'll do like an hour kind of workout. Like it's like a group kind of thing. It's so intense. It's like basically like a full hour of like a HIIT workout. Like my heart rate's always so high. It's so good. I come home and I'm just like sweaty.
You're always like your vibe is always too much for me when you come home from
It's
those.
really energizing. So that's actually another really
I'm always
good thing.
like, you're here? I need you here.
With mental health and stuff like that, like exercise is really good, but like really like kicking your ass, like doing a HIIT workout or something. Like I come home and I'm buzzing. I'm like, oh, I got so much stuff to do today. Like, it really like, I don't know if it's like endorphins or like what, but it really helps. Like you really feel good after. That's why I love going to it. Even though it's really hard when you're doing it, when you come home, you're like, I'm so accomplished. Super fun, but really, really good physically and mentally, for sure.
So some blank said, conventional agriculture is being phased out. I
think it's being phased in more. Like,
I know. I wish, dude. But you know what's been interesting, though, is that we've noticed on store shelves is that the price of conventional produce has, at least around here, has increased. But organic has barely moved, which I don't know if that has to do with the synthetic like fertilizers that come from fossil fuels and stuff like that. I don't know what the reason is, but it's interesting to see them kind of like coming closer in price. So just if you're not buying organic now and you don't even go look at the stuff, have a look. The other day I was in a grocery store. The organic kale was the exact same price as the non-organic, and it was bigger and more bright and everything. So anyways, but yeah, I feel like with all these products that they're coming out with, like the fake meats and like the burgers and stuff like that, they're all made from this from the pea protein. It's all like GMO pea monocrop.
Is it GMO pea? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that the peas that they use are GMO. Okay, even if they're not, it's monocrop. And
probably highly sprayed.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I just feel like we're going that way, but we need to be going back smaller. I don't know. I'm not a farmer, right? Everyone, people that are farmers probably laughing at me right now, being like, "This guy doesn't know anything." And yeah, I try and grow some kale out there, and I suck at it, and I know it's hard. But I know that what we're doing, spraying all this crap on the food, isn't probably right either.
Okay, we're coming up to an hour 30, so maybe a couple more questions.
Yeah, cool. What somebody I don't understand. Okay, grappling. Okay, man, everyone just has questions for Crystal. Crystal, I feel you are more shredded in your muscle gain recently, or maybe it's just because it's more on the videos. What have you changed in your workout lifestyle routine? So yeah, this is what I was saying, that you're lifting heavier now when you're back there.
Challenging myself more, but also like incorporating more calisthenics into my routine, which I've said earlier in the video. Honestly, that's like helped so much because I'm using like so many more muscles. And then also when I used to go to the gym, I would always do like different workouts. I really hated doing the same things. So I'd always like write my routines out, but it'd always be different. But now when I go to the gym,
remember you had like
I had a book. I had a book of
papers.
workouts, and every workout had to be different because I was like, I don't want to do a workout that's the same. And now I've completely changed. And now most of my workouts, like I'm hitting like the same exercises and muscle groups. And it's made such a difference. Like it really does make such a difference when you're like consistently hitting the same exercises for like muscle growth. Yeah. And then obviously like eating.
But it's not like you could have just gone and done calisthenics right off the bat, right? Because
no, I need to go through the journey in order to
get strong enough to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I think, but I also think what I've noticed is like when I saw you pushing those ring dips the other day, Crystal's got like her first ring dip.
I was able to do 2 ring dips unassisted. Like,
but
who am I?
That last one you pushed when you were pushing and you had nothing and you were like,
and I almost did the third one.
You never used to do that when you were working out. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd be like 9, 10, then you put the weight down. And it was never like
going, really struggling.
Never that. And I think that's really what's sort of helped, right? Yeah. So anyways, cool. I loved watching it. Crystal's
It's been
doing
such
it
a
so
it's been
strong.
such a long journey. It's like not hasn't been like the
Oh.
last couple weeks or whatever. It's been like the last few months. I also think it helps because I don't really post on Instagram or anything. So like you guys don't really see the progress
Yeah,
for
that's
like
true.
the last year, and then Derek will show me on his story like randomly once in a while, and it's like, oh my god, what, you're doing that and stuff.
Well,
But
and
you
I
haven't
mean,
seen all like the ugly bits,
true.
so it's very nice.
And you always look good, but it's usually when it's like, holy, your back looks crazy. Let me film this, sort of thing.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
feel like
mean,
video just changed colors.
yeah, the video did just change color. I don't know why, but in our gym also, like the lighting is like.
Yeah, we call it half natty lighting.
So
I think we got that term from like Gold's Gym, the guys there.
So
but it makes you like half natty.
Yeah.
Pat,
so I don't walk around looking like that.
Pat, thanks, Crystal. Pat Matrix COD. How come you guys never cook with seitan? We make our own here. I thought it was really healthy. This is a question we get. It's just about every video or every live that we do. We just eat other things, and it's like it's a processed food, but it's definitely not a highly processed food, I would say. We just don't. I don't know. Like Crystal made some seitan steaks a little while ago, and they were like good, and they were like kind of chewy and like meaty and stuff. But I don't know. I didn't feel like it was gonna fill a void that was in my diet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, it's good, but for the time it took us to make it, and then we just eat other stuff that's a little bit easier to make and prepare.
We have TVP like in the pantry if we wanted to make some more and stuff, but
I don't know. Like, do you use TVP to make seitan? No.
No, not TV. No. What do we have? Maybe
wheat gluten.
Yeah, it's that, I think.
Yeah.
In the thing.
Yeah.
I think I labeled it
wrong. Wheat gluten and you pound it, right?
My bad.
Yeah.
No, not TVP.
That's been gluten I've been putting in my. No, I'm just kidding.
No, because TVP is like the crumbly stuff. But
yeah.
I have in the pantry I have the actual stuff that you make seitan. I just labeled it wrong. My bad. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not really like.
Oh, someone said here, like you'd like the powder you would classify as a processed food, like homemade seitan is a processed food. Well,
I wouldn't. Well, I don't.
I mean, I think tofu is a processed food. Like you could claim people. I would say that like even blending something like a smoothie is a processed food. You're processing the food. Like food processors process food. There's definitely levels. That's why I said it's not a highly processed food, but you can't it's not a whole food, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean it's like super unhealthy or anything like that. I'm just saying it's it's a couple extra steps to get it there. Anything that isn't in its natural state is processed, says A Journey to Love. Yeah,
that doesn't mean it's like bad or anything like that. But yeah, I just haven't made any more of those like vital, the seitan things in a while.
Yeah,
I guess we could. I love when people make them though. Like my friend Mel makes like she'll make like sausages and stuff out of.
Yeah,
it's like they're like so good. And then when I made them, mine were like okay, and I was like, damn, like I need to get on Mel's level.
Someone says I love using my food processor as a chopper for onions.
Oh, that's a great hack.
Then those onions are not whole anymore.
Yeah,
really processed onions. Get out of here with your processed crap. All right. So. Yeah, I eat them daily and consider myself a whole food plant-based dieter. That's okay. Yeah, no, I'm not here to create the definitions. I'm, that's fine. That's what I always say. I eat a primarily whole foods plant-based diet because I'm definitely not completely whole foods. But whatever. Yeah, that's totally fine. It's not the same as like an Impossible Burger or something like that.
Yeah, like someone says. Clara says that like ultra processed foods are really what is negatively possibly going to like impact people, not lightly altered or like light processed foods.
Yeah, it wasn't a jab at you.
Yeah.
No, I'm
gotta be careful of your language.
It wasn't a jab. I was like, how to offend people in the Simnett nutrition community? Tell them they eat processed foods. It's like what?
No.
Yeah. Anyways, well, good live. You guys are awesome. We've had between 300 and 330 350 people hanging out this whole time. It's been like really nice. So yeah, no video this weekend. We just wanted to do a live to connect with you guys because we like to do this every few months, and obviously didn't have a video ready for this weekend, but I got some great ideas. But I just have to kind of pull the trigger and get them done. But we just thought, it's Crystal's birthday next week. Happy birthday to Crystal. So we just thought we'd just really enjoy this like last week or two of summer. And don't worry, no, summer's not completely ending. Hopefully we get that long summer. I guess they call it Indian summer. But yeah, we're just like really enjoying these hot summer days because they're so far and few between here, especially these days. So anyways, yeah, thank you so much. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Crystal. That's very sweet.
Yay!
And
I'm excited.
Oh man, just as we're leaving, we get a question on barefoot stuff because I just got some new shoes, some barefoot shoes. VIVO Life barefoot shoes.
Not VIVO Life.
Who is
VIVO barefoot.
VIVO barefoot shoes. I always say that.
So many VIVOs in our life.
Yeah, because of VIVO supplements. I messed that up. But anyways, yeah, they're pretty sweet. They're a little bit pricey for me, but hopefully I'll have them for many years to come. But I'll talk about that in maybe an upcoming video. But yeah, get back to the ground. Get your shoes off. Get your feet in the ground. Amazing.
It's so funny.
Oh, that's funny. I have VIVO barefoot shoes. Very cool. Nice.
Yeah, not VIVO Life barefoot shoes. Because we told my mom, or I think you said that my mom thought they were VIVO Life. She's like, oh, they're making shoes now? That's so cool. And we're like, no, VIVO barefoot.
Protein shoes.
Shoes made from protein. Eat them after workout.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Much love from us. I hope you all have a great weekend. And thank you, Crystal. You're always such a good addition to these.
It's so fun to be on the live. Thanks for all the birthday wishes, too.
All right. Stay positive.
I'm turning 21.
I wasn't going to say it. All right.
Definitely not.
See ya.